Good evening, folks. Welcome to the ninth annual Smash TV Easy Percent Tournament. Hope you're all enjoying your Monday. I'm very excited for this one. We got lined up right here. I am the good old Tapatio J. Joining me in the booth is our number two seed, one of our favorites, I have to say, to take this whole dang thing. I got J Pop for life in the booth with me. How you doing, bud?
Hiya, Taps. I'm doing great. Feeling a little blush right now. Thank you so much for the kind comments. You are correct. We have another exciting Smash TV matchup against of two high caliber runners here. There are only six left in the tournament. And why don't you tell us all about them?
Oh man, we've come so far here. It's pretty crazy. We're here in what is the bonus bracket quarterfinals, I believe. We got here. We got sitting in the number four seed, just coming off of a thrilling seven-game set against the one and only Brysolf, Tetsuoooo on our left side, and on our right we got Lucha Jim, who has been making a very nice run through the bonus bracket, winning a couple matches, having potentially one of the most impressive, I would say, four-game sets I've seen in a bit. Lucha Jim over to our right. Very excited about this one, J Pop. How do you see it going down between these two runners?
Well, you have Tetsuo, the number four seed, number eight on the leaderboard or on speedruns.com, and he played a very strong game, a very close game against the three-time champion Brysolf, just by mere seconds, and is showing that he is here and ready to play. And Lucha Jim, the 11th seed, 14 on the speedruns boards, has really picked it up in this later half of the tournament. Our last double digit seed, I may have a soft spot for double digit seeds, mind you, and he is ready to take on anyone and everyone. How's this gonna go? It's gonna be fire. That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucha has probably been one of the hotter runners. Is only got, I think, their PB like a month or so ago. So like within practice for this tournament has actually got a very nice PB going in the easy percent category. Both these runners also experience in the normal and hard percent categories for this game. So well versed runners have been doing this for years. This should be a phenomenal matchup. I'm really looking forward to it.
B2 taps. I can't wait to see this, how this shakes out. Let me go get these runners counted in, and we'll be off shortly.
Yeah, very excited here for this one. As you have potentially seen in our previous matchups, we're getting later into the tourney here. This is actually the bonus bracket round 5. So we got best of 7 here. First to 4 wins for either one of our runners is going to take it. And our winner of this match will be facing off against the winner of the Aquas and Telio 1 matchup on the other side of the bonus bracket here. They'll both be going into the semifinals, and we'll be down at that point to I mean, we're going to be down after this to 5. We'll be down there to 4. Going to be pretty crazy going forward. Anybody's tourney still.
Anybody's tournament. There are only six of them left, and you're right. After this, there will be five left. Anybody could get this tournament, win the championship. But here we go. Game number one: Tetsuo and Lucha Jim.
Very interested here. Obviously, Lucha are holding steady. Are probably one of our only player two uh, competitors still remaining. We still got a couple, but we might have some more as we've had some very interesting news lately. Uh, Anything you want to discuss as far as what's been found? Have you checked out the player two manip strats by a chance, Shape Up?
I have looked at the player two manip straps, and it does look interesting. Um, Right now, a slight hold shot to Tetsuo, setting up the current player one 39-second manipulation, and he looks to get it. There we go.
Very
And
nice.
There is a player 2 manipulation and a little bit of info. There was actually a new 39-second manipulation that was around. However, it is incredibly difficult and not realistic to pull off. The player 2 manipulation actually falls in line in the end with that orb, but it's much easier to perform. Tetsuo out at a 118 and Lucha Gym out at a 122. Solidly for Tetsuo, but still anybody's race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You love to see that sub 120 there, but you'll take the low 120 as Lucha got. What you mainly want is both getting out of here with an orb, both on kind of that even footing. Rockets will help Lucha, but both these guys will clear it out. Our good old eat my shrapnel room. Just make sure you keep those shrapnel numbers down, right?
Yep, just make sure you keep the shrapnels under control, get rid of the grunts. Usually the shrapnels are the last to remain, as there are 18 that need to be taken out, only 4 can be on the screen at any point. And you hopefully have an 82-second room, which is looked like what these two runners have done. So now we're into Total Carnage, where the real game starts to pick up. Tetsuo with a Razor Shield and Lucha Jib with a little bit of spreader coming into the room.
There you go. Lucha getting the Razor as well right there. It was a pretty nice grab for Tetsuo there. The good old shrapnel to start the room. Start blowing up almost immediately. Made that a little tricky. But now both sitting center just fine. Lucha getting rockets as well. Nice with the Vitamin R, the Holy Trinity lining up for Lucha here.
That's right, the Holy Trinity, the Razor Shield, the Orb, and Rockets, the best combination you can have in the arena. Tetsuo gets a nuke on the feed that'll delay him a little bit. Lucha Jim cannot get the Rockets because of the Razor Shield hindering his process, and Tetsuo will be just out at a 257, Lucha Jim at a 259, and it is still a very close race. Do you have any products you would like to place for this here, Taps?
You know, we've been talking about all these other places, but we gotta stick to the original. It's time for Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell. Go get yourself a Baja Blast and those little Cinna Twists. Order for me, please.
And Crunchwrap Supreme, if you don't mind. Tank Trouble, here we go. A nuke for Lucha Jim, a dude for Tetsuo. Nice nuke for Lucha. Both have one gunner down. Lucha gets the second gunner, so advantage Lucha. Tetsuo drops the orb.
That was going to be tough damage for Tetsuo to be able to keep that. Just not quite. The Rockets on Lucha's side, that'll help as well. So yeah, now time's slipping away a little bit for Tetsuo.
Lucha with the still with the orb intact. Second gunner now done for Tetsuo. Another nuke. Will he use it? Yes, he will. Help keep the room get nice and clear. Tetsuo still scrambling, gets a Razor Shield, but Lucha Jim still holding the center beautifully with that orb.
Yeah, not too bad. Will get it done with just the orb room just about finishing off. Tetsuo getting a Razor Shield, getting some rockets. They'll help kind of catch it back up and finishing the orb or room not too far after, about a 420. Lucha, good handful of seconds in front of it. It's really a one-drop game.
Yep, one drop, and there's an empty drop to start with for Lucha, so he's going to focus on the ball buster and misses it, but he gets a spreader, has a little bit of a vulnerability. So he got some damage in. How will these manuals go? It's tough with the gunners. He's going to switch out for the Rockets. I like the call. Tetsuo working with lobbers. And probably it's close. Maybe a quarter form lead for Lucha, but he's got lobbers of his own now.
Yeah, nicely done by Lucha. I will say, kind of in reference to what you called out right there, he kind of went away from the manuals and went right to the missiles to just try to get rid of those gunners. If I noticed one thing about Lucha's match against the Real Zero in the previous matchup he had, very on it with getting consistent damage. Will drop a manual, just get consistent damage. Doesn't even bother with that spreader right there. It says, you know what, I got lobbers, and I'm gonna be rewarded. Look at that.
Look at that. Patience pays off. He decided to keep the lobbers and not go for the player one spreader since he's player two, and he gets his spread of his own. He's popping it, Mutoid into final form now. Look at this, Taps. Wow, what amazing decision making from Lucha.
Yeah, well done. This is just hard to compete against no matter what you do. This is kind of what we saw in that matchup. Lucha kind of continuing this run of really good play, some great luck, and gonna have a phenomenal time here. Gonna be just about 6 minutes.
Just yes, a 6:01.
Phenomenal.
Great time for Lucha, and you're right. He made the most reasonable plays. Did not try to get fancy and over manual, especially with the gunners. He got the rockets to clear it out so he could do the consistent damage later. And well, you do get a spreader, but he waited for the right spreader and not take the low quality spreader that is risky, and he is rewarded with game number one. Tetsuoo's finishing up. It'll be about a mid 640, but a great start for Lucha Gym.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of continuing this good play. I mean, I think in that previous matchup, everything was either a sub 6 minute or a very low 6 minute time for Lucha. That's great as far as you're talking about races. You're talking about single runs. No reset. You could get some pretty gnarly RNG and not have anything close to that time. When you're getting those consistently, nailing it like that, you're running well, and you have every ability to take it against even someone as good as Tetsuo. So well done, Lucha, knocking it out and taking game one.
Absolutely, and that consistency could win you a match. And this is a best of seven, so who probably is the most consistent on the way throughout this match will probably be out on top. You can have one really good game, but if the rest of the games don't follow up, well, then you only have one game and you need four here. I'm gonna check in on these runners and see if they're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only win one game at a time. It's an adage we've heard a few times over. It's a good thing to maintain in this. These are quick runs. You're talking about 6 minute runs. RNG could throw you one way or another, especially if you're not doing that early orb manipulation. Uh, and if you just have to be able to take it away. Hey, you know what? That run's done. We're starting fresh with the next one. And it's only one game. You gotta win four to take this set. So yeah, I think this will be a no one's too shifted. These competitors are fairly seasoned enough. They've dealt with worse as far as the RNG shifts might be concerned. So I'm looking forward to this one. Game two underway.
Yeah, I don't expect a loss to affect either of these runners. I mean, they've made it here to this point. You always have some bumps and bruises along the way, and we all know Trolltoid will do whatever he pleases in this game, and there's no runner that can escape that. So we have Tetsuo again going for the manipulation, the 39-second manipulation, and times the nuke. It looks good to me. He just needs to finish the manipulation by clearing the bottom door, making sure they don't come in too deep. And we'll have a slight hole shot, about a half second, going into collect power-ups.
See how it shakes out. It's looking pretty good, and right there on the feet. Not even a chance for the item icon to blip up. Gets it done. Very nice on Tetsuo's side. The hunt begins for Lucha. Just going to take that nuke to try to just, cycle through the items, see if we get a drop here. Spreader will help a little bit, but hunting for that orb.
Hunting for the orb, has spreaders, and we'll have rockets to close out the room. Tetsuo gets out at a 117, high 117, and Lucha Gym is right there again with a 122. It's about that 4.5-second lead that they had in game number one, but Lucha took game number one, and you never know how this will go. But we are here in Eat My Shrapnel. 18 of the missile shrapnels you need to take out. No more than 4 can be on the screen at any given point. And hopefully you get out of here at around 42.5 seconds. And Lucha Gym just scrambling, trying to look for an orb. Has rockets, has the razor shield. We'll be fine coming out of this room, but we'll need to see that other circular object game hopefully soon.
Yeah, you can tell just running around, and there you
And
go.
there it is!
Wow, the very last drop. I didn't even think a drop could happen right there. That was the last shrapnel. That is an incredibly very clutch last drop right there for Lucha, and here we go into total carnage.
I am just as shocked as you are. I didn't think another drop was going to come for Lucha in that room, but it was the drop that he needed. The the RNG is favoring the double digit seeds like it should against the single digit seeds, and well, it is an even Steven race, although Tetsuo does have a Razor Shield, so that is going to help him hold the center here during this room.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely like you use it somewhat offensively, but mainly it just allows you to keep that center really easily, keep those fire lanes nice, and look at that, a 254 to the bonus for Tets.
Sizzling tie for Tetsuo. Lucha uses a nuke. I actually agree with that. Even though it didn't end the room,
Yeah.
gets out at a 302. No shrapnels came out on the screen, so it was a good nuke. If you can help it.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to really get that timing. I think that was the thing, oddly enough, with those rockets in that previous run for Lucha. Trying to really get that timing for that last item. That time, instead of rockets, it was a nuke, and he timed it very well. Oh, Tetsuo loses that orb early, trying to get that gunner, and yeah, the swarm Lucha, and that is going to be phenomenal for the start of this room.
Yes, Tetsuo dropping the orb early on. Rockets for Lucha Jim. Picks up a nuke to give himself a breather. Tetsuo does have a Razor Shield, so he's not completely out of it, but is still looking for something. A foot's not going to quite do it. Lucha with another nuke. Deciding not to use it. Tetsuo gets an orb, and then he loses it. I didn't quite see what happened. And Lucha Jim gets taken out. Tank Trouble lives up to its name taps.
Oh yeah, Tank Trouble is causing some trouble right now. Lucha handling it, getting the invulnerability, Razor Shield, gonna be finishing out the room. Actually, probably makes up a little bit of time here. Tetsuo, Tetsuo Jr. is joining Tetsuo right now. I see in the player cam. That's a challenge right there. That is the ultimate challenge of speedrunning right there.
Tetsuo wanted to enable hardball. Lucha Jim picks up lobbers but gets taken out by the swirl. Tetsuo misses the ball buster, so we're kind of even as we have lobbers here on both ends. This is going to be a very tight one.
Yeah, this is going to really just come down to the drops right here, getting that consistent damage. Tetsuo going to be going for the manuals right here. And get the ability, that's huge!
See an invulnerability right after the spreader. He's going to take 2 arms off and will get these rockets. Lucha with 1 arm off, but Tetsuo popping the chest, so about a 4.5 difference, I think, at this moment. But Lucha's got a refill of lobbers and can't catch up. There's another spreader with Tetsuo. Oh, he decides to grab it.
It was, ooh, that was right there. He might have been able to actually get a death right there, still get it, but goes for the manuals, does all right with it. Head pop, so maybe just a bit lower than a form right now between the two. Lobber's getting in for Lucha. That's good damage right there.
And the head pops up for Lucha Jim. It's pretty darn close. I think Tetsuo's ahead by like maybe 40 points of damage, but the Lucha Jim has now taken the lead on the strength of those lobbers and has reached final form. And Tetsuo's right behind him.
Phenomenal lobber aim right there. Lucha getting the spreader, unfortunately, at the wrong point. Lobbers for Tetsuo, a little bit damage increase. The death for Lucha.
Lucha gets run over.
And
he does get the rockets.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Amazing back and forth Mutoid fight. They wins. And we're gonna see how the timers line up. 6:13 and 6:15. Wow. A 2-second difference. Woo!
Yeah, that really it was right there. The last weapons and maybe that last unfortunate death for Lucha, just having a little bit of delay and being able to get some damage in still. That was neck and neck throughout. The lobbers, it looked like we're gonna take it home for Lucha, but Tetsuo kind of rallies back right there, stays alive, and is able to take game 2 to tie us up at 1.
Amazing stuff. Great play from both players. Tetsuo, when he got that spreader, was chasing the second spreader, was chasing Mutoid, trying to find the right manuals, being patient himself with it. While I don't think he's read Lucha's book, maybe taking a page out of it, being consistent and doing things right, that may be the key here to this tournament.
Yeah, consistent damage, keep yourself alive, that sort of thing. When you're going for perhaps trying to get the ideal of, a manual, and you don't really get it, and you take a death, and then you lose the time, and maybe you lose an item drop, like that would add up pretty significantly. I think there is something, in tournament play, you're talking about a single reset. You're not going for the PB. You're not going for a world record. You know, keep the damage up. Make sure you get through this as any way you can, and very nicely done, keeping that consistent damage up. Tets kind of overcoming. It looked like it had been lost because of the lobbers, but gets it done. And here we go. We're tied up going into game 3. Best of 7 has turned into a best of 5.
Here they are in Arena 1. Lucha with the traditional strats, hugging that right door. It's kind of interesting to see what doors runners like to hug if they decide to do so. Some at the top, some at the right, and then some will go back to the middle afterwards. And ooh, this looks like an absolute dead heat. Um, a little quicker entry for Tetsuoooo because of the Razor Shield, but all intents and purposes from our legendary commentator, it's a negligible difference.
Yeah, certainly negligible. I would agree with that. It is something to where the it reminds me of some of the earlier days of Smash. What you're talking about. It's funny, the the definition of which door you chose and how you did Arena 1. That was a little bit of like everybody had their own little thing that they did, and now, I think with the orb manip strats, I'm thinking going into year 10, we might be seeing a lot of people sticking to that top door, getting that manip.
That very well might be the case, unless if you've seen the Player 2 strats. Player 2 strats are actually on the right door, I believe.
Oh.
And Lucha steps on the mine, losing the orb, trying to get that Razor Shield. Oof, he needs another orb replacement here. He may not lose time here, but going into Total Carnage without an orb, especially when Tetsuoooo has one, might separate. The separation might start there, and with a rocket closer from Tetsuoooo, he should have the ideal room, just about. A 201 versus a 207.8, and about a 7-second difference into Total Carnage, but Lucha needs to see that orb replacement ASAP. Gets a Razor Shield.
Razor will help a little bit. And there he goes. There's the orb replacement. So now set up very nicely. Just gonna be sitting in the center. Razor, orb, looking for the weapons here. Tetsuoooo actually now with a little bit of disadvantage as far as the weapons are concerned. Gets a spreader though, not bad.
And Lucha had the Holy Trinity there for a moment. Lucha Gem actually is in prime position to cut into this lead by quite a bit, maybe even possibly take the lead, depends on these firing lanes. And both are doing a great job right now, holding control of the room. The drops have been pretty garbage for both of them here in the second half. Tetsuoooo takes out that shrapnel. Lucha Gem uses the nuke and has cut that lead to maybe 2 seconds. We are into the bonus room, neck and neck. This is anybody's game taps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nicely done by Lucha. Really, maintain, kind of got that back. Obviously, Razor Shield really helped with that. Tetsuoooo, yeah, not really seeing anything on the other side. So, maintained very well. Didn't lose anything right there as far as the orb. Did as best he could. Let's see this first drop right here. Nuke in its service could be all right for you. Rockets again for Lucha. That's back-to-back games. First drop rocket in tank trouble.
And even more rockets now for Lucha, and he's gonna be just plowing through these lanes. Tetsuoooo getting a spreader, holding things down, so he's not. This is his best tank room so far. He's dropped the orb early in the last couple games for it, but Lucha getting more rockets here. And I don't know about this lead is probably going to switch on the strength of these rockets, and he's going to pick up a spreader to finish it off.
Phenomenal room. 407 out. That's crazy. That's quite a quick tank trouble right there. Nothing to sneeze at for Tetsuoooo, getting out at about 413, 414 right there. But yeah, the lead swinging back to Lucha right there. Good God.
And gets the ball buster, swung it around, is holding on to those lobbers, trying to get the right positioning, and Tetsuoooo gets flexed, just missing the ball buster. So right now, advantage Lucha as he gets the first arm popped off, and we'll see how this Mutoid fight goes.
Yeah, Lobbers obviously love getting that damage in. Still has a gunner up. Tetsuoooo having to deal with grenades. Has got a couple of vulnerabilities. There's the Lobbers. All right, so get a little bit better weapon drops here. The foot, it's not going to help for Tetsuoooo. I think getting parked on a little mother hen for Lucha. Doesn't see what that. Actually, never mind. Got more Lobbers. My mistake. On the feet, I suppose.
Yeah, it was Lobbers hiding behind the top half of Mutoid, and Lucha is getting
Yeah.
old school stress, nothing but Lobbers. But here's a spreader for Tetsuoooo. He's 2 forms down, but this might do it. But Mutoid goes away from him.
Ooh, not ideal. Yeah, exactly. Now gonna have to try to work in some manuals. This is the decision being made here. Does all right, gets some, and gets the head pop. Probably about a half form back. About a full form back here. Lucha getting the damage in, getting the lobbers in. It doesn't quite have the full ammo here, so gonna need some more. Gonna go for rockets. Probably even needs one more weapon from this.
I agree. I think he'll need a little bit more past the Rockets, but that spreader should do it. Tetsuoooo on the final form, but Lucha Jim takes out Mutoid. It will be a low 6. Tetsuoooo right behind him, and whoo! We have the 11th seed and the 4th seed, and these two are bringing it today, Taps.
Oh yeah, this is phenomenal stuff right here. Yeah, that was just one. As far as maybe some of the item drops there, Lucha got just that incredible tank trouble, and honestly, that was about the lead. It was what, about 11 seconds, I think, 613, 602, and that's I think maybe a little less than that, but that tank trouble really propelled Lucha Jim, and you got kind of more or less the even footing on a Mutoid Man. Nothing too crazy one way or the other, and Lucha Jim's able to take Game 3 here, go up 2-1.
I think you're absolutely right. That tank trouble was the difference room. Strange enough, we usually talk about Mutoid, but tank trouble was the big one. They had very close Mutoid fights, and Tetsuoooo was into tank trouble in the lead, and Lucha Jim just not only took the lead, but excelled past him and propelled him to his second win of this best of 7. Very, very good stuff from Lucha, but we'll see. Game number 4, I can count, will be underway shortly. Let me get these runners counted in.
Don't worry. Hey, it's blowing the mind right now. It is, who knows what game we're on. Hopefully by the end of it, both these Super Nintendos will be working for both these folks. A little inside knowledge. I believe this is a set to also determine whether these guys are going to leave their Super Nintendos plugged in. I think I think once they're out of the tournament, both players. I know Lucha's said it before as far as the Nintendo's getting packed up. I think the same for Tetsuoooo. If they're knocked out of the tourney here. So this is for the Super Nintendo. Stay it on the shelf, folks. Game number 4. Here we go.
Lots at stake here. Yes, I do know Lucha. He's been doing 7 Saga runs, and his titles have been that he will do it until he has to put the Super Nintendo away, which is after this tournament. So, not only our tournament lives are on the line, but console shelf lives are also on the line in this match.
It's big stakes here at the Smash TV tournament, and here we go. Both runners getting out. The times are going to be very similar here, pretty much identical as they get out. And let's see as far as the manipulations are concerned.
Yep, Tetsuoooo looks like he should have the manipulation just fine. Lucha Jim, traditional strats will leave it up to RNG. So, both get orb-like features, but Lucha does get a second drop. Good orb, not the terrible grenade orb. So both runners are in the running, and we're going to leave this up to skill taps.
Phenomenal. You love to see it. It's the way it should be right here. the drops here, you would love to end this room, obviously. Better. It's going to have a little bit good now. Help, with this circle, you get to kind of shoot around, kind of clear these foot soldiers out real easy. And then, yeah, start focusing down on the shrapnel as you need to do. Very nicely done by Lucha.
Yep. So, I'm sure Lucha was fine, but that shrapnel was a little too close for my comfort sitting here in the booth. But these runners should be fine, should get out in the optimal time. They're just working it. They have the pea shooter. And yeah, when you're runners of this caliber, this is, as I've coined from Mr. Dino, the original, to say it best, the auto scroll room of the run. And we just have to wait for it to end, and here we go into total carnage.
Yeah, low twos. It's really, let's see what these first drops. The nuke, that'll help a little bit. The spreader in a very awkward spot. Lucha's still gonna go for it, even with that shrapnel kind of being a pest. Spreader on both sides now, just soaking it as well. And then both get keys in absolutely awful positions.
Keys to a brand new car, which is useless to us because the 1999 sleek vehicle model was out of manufacturing probably a decade ago. Lucha with spreaders and a razor should be fine for the rest of the room. Tetsuo is going to go out of his way to grab those rockets, and nice maneuvering there. So keeping control of the lanes. We will see who gets out into the bonus room first. It's going to be close.
Yeah, pretty much popping at the same time. That's pretty close to sync right there. Just about 3 minutes. Both entering into the secret room. You love to see it.
Absolutely. We're gonna have one more product placement, and we are going to product place GG Speedruns, home of the Smash TV tournament and other tournaments as well. Please give them a like and a follow. Sorry, I don't. Can you give likes to channels? I don't know. Follow them, like them, do good things. On to Take Trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And as much as you could support with the following the channel, absolutely. I think we also get those VODs uploaded to YouTube as well. So if you ever miss a match, be sure to follow on YouTube. Be able to check out any match if you happen to miss it. We do have some ones that pop up, more of a spur of the moment sort of things. We've had a couple this tourney. Very awesome in that we have Mr. Dino to be able to jump in and support on those quick runs. But there we go. Talk about quick runs. Both of them out of tank trouble in pretty phenomenal times. This is going to be another phenomenal race here. I'm seeing it come down to the wire.
Yep, it is pretty neck and neck going into New Torment. Lucha Jim nails the ball buster. Tetsuoooo nails the ball buster and has a spreader opportunity.
What a 1-2!
He just gets it. Mutoid did not run it over. This is going to be the maximum amount of damage. Tetsuoooo. Tapatio.
I haven't seen a 1-2 like that since Sugar Ray Leonard right there. The left and the right getting a ball buster and spreader right there. Really stripped out chest pop that's just taken a massive lead in this race.
Absolutely. A beautiful, perfect spreader has given Tetsuo the lead. Finally takes out the last gunner, so no little extra hoopla. Tetsuo, I think I vibrated into Mutoid, and I'm not quite sure what happened to Lucha, but they are now both waiting for Trolltoid to finish being trolly. Rockets for Tetsuo, spreader for Lucha. He's going to have to go manuals. Head popped up for Tetsuo, so about a form lead and a spreader. Will it be blocked, though?
Mother Hen might do it to Tetsuo right now. And block from both sides. That is brutal. And the key and empty drop. Lucha getting the head pop. Now the same form. This is huge.
This is neck and neck. Once again, a lot of shenanigans going on, but it's tied regardless. Lucha with the lobbers, the weapon advantage right now. Tetsuo using rockets. Gets another spreader.
He's going to try to take this death. No, won't. We'll go for manuals now. Tetsuo gives up on taking that. Oh, this is going to be a tough one right here. Lobbers on Lucha's side.
Final four for Tetsuo. I'm not sure
Oh,
if he got any
yes, never
transfer
mind.
damage. Tetsuo, Lucha takes a death, has the invulnerability. He's gonna get his transfer
Massive
damage
transfer
here.
damage. Massive transfer damage. That might just win the race. It's done.
Oh my
It's done.
goodness! Oh my goodness! The
You have to
transfer
okay.
damage!
The shrapnel, yeah, shrapnel won't matter. They don't blow. Okay, if the shrapnel walked around, that could have been some shenanigans. I think Lucha takes this. Oh, by a hair. I think it's a 1 second or sub 1 second win right there for Lucha.
I think so. I'm going to double check with the administration because I think it's clear enough, but I will see what they say. Give me a moment.
Wow, the only thing was a spreader at that moment for Lucha. This race was Dunsky's. It was wrapped up. Tie a bow on it, pack it up, put it in the bag. But Lucha taking just a phenomenal, taking the death, getting that spreader, getting into position, and it was instant. It was literally 1 or 2 shots away, and it already was starting that bonus damage. It was that close of a margin. If that took a few more shots of the spreader before he went to final form, we're not talking about this going to Lucha. I think that still goes to Tetsuo, but it just happened within the closest amount of health right there. Phenomenal stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely nail biting right there. I have talked with the administration, and it is under a second, so we are going to check the tapes. We will say temporary victory to Lucha at this point, but we will get an official word when it's time.
So yeah, it looked Lucha's way. I think that's what it's going to be. Conditionally, Tetsuo potentially on the ropes here, but this we've seen Tetsuo here before. This isn't over. This isn't as much as is the lead is happening right now on Lucha's side. I think Tetsuo has every chance to bring this back. Um, all the way to a game 7. I'm super looking forward to it. I hope you all are. Here we go. I think we're just about to get started up. And there we go. Game number 5 underway.
Yes, do not count Tetsuo out. He was down 3-0 against the three-time defending champion Bryceoff and came all the way back to a game 7 and was in the lead that last game except for the last 2 seconds of it. Tetsuo, I'm sure, is going to put his nose to the grind, do what he can, and put his best game forward. Looks good with the manipulation once again.
Yeah, well done. It looks like, I mean, Lucha obviously just doing the standard, but still a great time. Tetsuo looks like the strat, the orb manip has worked out here. We'll see, but has been very consistent with it so far. I don't think he's missed a one. So, and there you go again.
Yes, he has Tetsuo 4 for 4 on the orb manipulations so far. 5 for 5. I was counting the keys, and one is being held temporarily right now, and has put in the work to get that early orb manipulation. And Lucha with rockets looks really good with it right now. Probably will get out close enough. Tetsuo again with another sub 80. And Lucha Jim without an orb is getting out at a low 20 pace. Very good for both of these runners.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for when you're not getting the orb right there. Doing well with the single fire rockets, the classic. If you could have good single rocket fire, that will take you a good amount of the way here. If you're not getting lucky on the RNG, but the unluck of the RNG, the green sure gets through the razors and clubs down Lucha right there. I did not expect that.
I did not expect that either. That was a full razor shield that grunt just completely ignored and hacks his way through. Tetsuo gets into total carnage. First, Lucha is going to get in probably about a 6-second difference, but has no orb. He will be fishing here, Taps. And he does get the orb.
Wow. Oh, phenomenal stuff. Tetsuo rockets on the other side, but Lucha getting that orb, that's huge. That's going to keep him in business through this room. I probably won't have too much issue. We'll see here as far as the other drops are concerned. If you keep that center, just fine. Tetsuo not getting too much on the other side. So yeah, this will just maintain for Lucha, hopefully.
It might. Both of them are controlling the center very, very well, doing the best to try to keep the kill count high. Tetsuo decides to use that nuke. A little bit of a time penalty, but may be beneficial depending on how the end of the room shakes out. And with no trap spawning, that probably was a good nuke. He has taken the lead at a 256. Lucha still trying to finish up the room here. And about the same 6-8 second ish lead going into the bonus room, so a pretty equal room for both. And here we go, Tank Trouble again. Let's see how this goes for both players.
I gotta say, you brought up that nuke. I didn't think that was a great nuke for Tetsuo to take, but then yeah, like you said, no shrap. Tetsuo's seeing into the future here and playing very well. Great nuke right there. Starts at the room. Unfortunately, nothing. Lucha does. Spreader not as good as the Rockets, but still a pretty good item. We'll go for it. Unfortunately, the gunner, everything got around him. Shrapnel, swarmers. It was a mess. Oh boy.
He needed to look to his left, to his right, above him, and probably check his back pockets too, because it came from everywhere on top of him. But Lucha has rockets and more rockets to follow up, and if he could use these rockets and keep the damage going, he could keep this deficit to a minimum. Rockets, though, for Tetsuo, though, might be able to push this lead, Taps.
Yeah, Tetsuo absolutely dancing right there, doing a great job with the spreader. But yeah, the weapon drop just suiting Lucha enough. Rock and into the spreader at the end has about what? Okay, just 1 bar spread, so that will really make a difference. But surprising that Lucha was even able to maintain right there. Tetsuo keeping the orb. Let's see if the ball bust works out. Does get the lobbers to start here.
Labas to start. About an empty drop difference between the two. Gets the ball buster, does Tetsuo. Nice. Lucha taking out the gunners with those grenades and has lobbers of his own. So an arm popping off, probably about a half-form lead right now, but this is Mutori. Anything can happen from here.
Yeah, you gotta let. Yeah, I do enjoy seeing that. You know, when you do have that one advantage. Of course, Tetsuo doesn't know that Lucha didn't have right there, but when you're able to get that, that is a nice little boost that you're able to give yourself. Because, yeah, you never know with these weapons. They could dry up real bad for him. Lucha getting I mean, really, it was a mid-spreader, but just takes it on the manuals anyways. Doesn't want to die for it. Figures, I'm not going to be able to get to that. This guy's going to park on it. So, takes an arm off, though. Gets to the same form. Well done. And an empty drop. Lucha's caught right back up.
Yes, I agree with Lucha's call. Mutor Man would have blocked his entrance towards it, so he decided to go manuals. Did a really good job with them. Has caught up. They are on the same form. Lucha with a very slight lead. Tetsuo getting lobbers, has a lobber refill and an empty drop for Lucha. Tetsuo will be taking this lead back. Lucha with the Telio. Gets a lobber.
Ooh, lobber up top. That'll be the damage. Unfortunately, not exactly what you're looking for. Better than the key. He's going to be 4. Tetsuo is going to take this death. It's on the other side, but that's a great timing death. I think he gets this.
Yep. I'm not sure if that did it or not. Tetsuo's going to get transfer damage. Yep. He's got a vulnerability.
Wow. Yeah, unfortunately, last form, so can't chain it, but there's the extra damage. Wow, Tetsuo takes it, extends this series out.
What do we call the anti-Mutoid block? Because Mutoid pushed Tetsuo faster upwards in line with that spreader. I don't know if he gets that without Mutoid's help. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
The assist, the rare assist. We didn't know he was playing for our team sometimes, but I guess, you know what? Someone's got to dictate the drops around here. And yeah, there you go. The rare, the homie play from our boy Mutoid fan.
our homie Mutoid showed up for Tetsuo in game number 5. I have the results here for game number 4, but I do need to click and actually read it. So give me a moment while I take a look at what happened in game number 4.
Novel stuff. This series, no surprise from these two runners. Great scrap, absolute Donnybrook, a slobber knocker. Donnybrook is the what I was thinking of before. What I say before that, who cares? It doesn't matter. We're going to game 6.
We are going to game 6, and the results of game number 4, Lucha did take it by 1 second. Technically 59 frames. So Lucha was indeed the winner of game number 4. Very tight and contested race. I'm going to get these runner counted in for game number 6. This is going to be exciting, Taps.
This is now we're starting to go into the deeper games. Everything to this point has been a 5-game series. I'm glad we're seeing game number 6. It's something I'm actually very interested in asking you about, J-Pop. You've been here before. You've been in the 7-game sets before. Is there anything prep wise or like just mentality wise? Obviously, you're just going in for more games. Do you maybe like practice a little less going into a 7-game set, just knowing potential that you might be sitting there for 7 games of this, upwards of like 40 minutes or something like that? Or what's the mentality as far as going into the 7-game sets?
In terms of the 7-game sets, the beginning is stressful. The tournament setup has a lot of emotion to it. But by about game 3, I find that I settle in, and it's just like when you're grinding or when you're playing it, you go, all right, one more, one more, one more, and you just kind of keep going. And um, by that point, I'm not thinking about how many games I'm in, how many games are left, but it's what do I need to do? You break it down. What do I need to do in this room, then in this room, then in this room, and just keep doing it until either you win or lose, and that's how it is. That's
Yeah,
what I would say
right.
is my approach to a 7-game series.
One game at a time. Always a good mentality to have because yeah, that's all you can do. Take it one game at a time. That's what Lucha's having to deal with right now. Not getting maybe that same RG that he's been seeing a little bit here as far as a matching early orb drop. Having to just get it done. Never mind. There it is. Nicely done, Lucha, getting it done. Keeping it within pretty close margins with Tetsuo here.
Absolutely, Lucha Chim has been getting the orb. Uh, Either in collect power ups, the very last extra special drop in Eat My Shrapnel, or
Right.
very early on in Total Carnage, and has been able to keep up against that Orbinip with Tetsuo, and has really shown that Lucha is dangerous without an orb, with weapons, and is here to bring it.
I'm thinking about back now. You think back to that game 4, how close that was. You think about that last, like the latest orb drop I've ever seen in playing this game for 7 years for Eat My Shrapnel. The latest drop I've ever seen, let alone be an orb drop. That easily also won Lucha, I think, that game. As close as the time was at the end. Crazy how that all works out, how it all lines up.
You look back, and that's the beauty of Smash TV. Any given detail, any pickup, any decision making that you make can really flip a race on a moment's notice. Do I pick up those rockets? Do I decide to go for those drops or not? I have the orb and razor shield. Do I just stay here in the center? Lucha Jim's
Right.
making maneuvers out a little bit. There are so many decisions that you never know which one or combination of them changed the entire race for you in that match.
Well, there's no
Tits-
thinking about it either. You just gotta make them. You see it and you react, and sometimes you don't react the right ways. And the times you do, it leads to you potentially winning crazy matchups like this. Well done by both. Very close again. Another product placement here within the set. No surprise going in, for Game 6.
Absolutely, these two runners, they are going for it. They are attacking it with everything that they have. This is an elimination match. The winner moves on to the um,
Oh,
second chance. So wow,
there's some dancing happening on
that's
both
it.
sides. Oh, Tetsuo ends up losing the orb, and so does Lucha. It was so crazy with the shrapnel and the the gunfire on both sides. It was crazy that neither of them died right there, let alone lose the orb.
A tough room. Tank Trouble, the hardest room in the run by a lot. And a razor shield now for Lucha, Tetsuo with the spreader. They both seem to have recovered nicely. Lucha with a very nice
Great.
nuke is going to be the first out the door with a 417. And Tetsuo needs this game, is a little bit behind, will be probably be about 9 seconds back. Still anyone's race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a drop, empty drop right there for Luke, and then gets lasered. Oh, and another empty drop. This is not even right back up all of a sudden.
A player 2 spreader. He's going to go for it. I think he
Oh,
will
he gets
get
it.
it.
Though.
He does get this. Neutral is a little far away, and another empty drop for Tetsuo. So Lucha has an arm popped off, probably 1.5. Tetsuo, decides
again.
not to. Again, it gets the vulnerability though.
Pays off. That's incredible stuff. I thought it was a mistake because he didn't take the death right there, but then he gets the invulnerability. He's gonna take that. He's gonna try for one more.
He's gonna try for another teller here.
Oh my god!
It's a vulnerability.
Oh my goodness!
The chest is popped for both of them. Head now popped for Tetsuo. He's going for manuals. He's gonna go for another Telio. Why not at this point? Gets lobbers, Lucha with rockets, and about a quarter change form behind is Lucha. Tetsuo with a lobber refill. This is gonna be very close as he pops it into final form.
Lucha just being able to stick with the consistent damage, the craziness happening over at Tetsuo's side. But that gets parked. Unfortunate for Lucha right there. Gets Motherhead. Can't get those lobbers. And the lobbers for Tetsuo's side, that might just do it. That gets switched to rockets, but I think that's still it. Yes, it is. And here we go. We are going to Game 7, folks. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, absolutely not. This has been wild. Back and forth. Spreaders. Great arena fights. It has been neck and neck. They have had close finishes. We've had to have an official photo finish. And, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we are here. Game 7 between Tetsuo and Lucha Jim. Oh my goodness, Taps. What do you think? How do you think this is going to end?
Man, Tetsuo has gotten this before. It wasn't the full sweep. He had the game, but come back from the 3-1. He's done it before. Lucha's also been in this situation. If I don't want to talk too much about myself, but me and Lucha had an incredible, went down to the wire, almost a reverse sweep, Game 5 situation, but Lucha was able to hold on. Lucha's been here before. The RNG shaking really his way. I love, obviously, Tetsuo with the ability to rally back right here. I'm gonna say I think we might just see the veteran status. Been in these deep waters before. Almost got it done against Pride. I think Tetsuo might take it for this one. To take it in 7. I think he makes the rally back from 3-1. I do believe, but it could be anybody's game. I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited too. For balance of the universe, I believe the double-digit seed will take down the single-digit seed, and Lucha, who has been practicing and bringing it back, will be able to topple Tetsuo in this amazing match. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen, but here we go. Game number 7. Tetsuo Lucha Gym, here we go.
Hold on, folks, and be sure, hey, get your points in for the prediction right here. Game 7 decider. You gotta get your points in now. You might as well.
It's time to put all of it on the line. These runners, tournament life is on the line. Their console shelf life is on the line. Game number 7. Tetsuo also looks 7 for 7 with the orb manipulation and boom, opening rockets for Lucha. Great job on both sides.
That's as consistent we've seen this tournament. I gotta say, I mean, we've had some great consistency, but 7 for 7. I mean, that's an impossible number to beat. You can only tie that.
I absolutely agree. I believe that is the best run of the orb manipulation we have seen in this tournament. 7 straight manips in a row. However, Lucha getting out at a
Woo!
117.
Wow, he's
Tetsuo with a
flying.
120. Lucha Jim is he's not pulling any punches with this one. This is it. He wants his console to stay in play a little while longer.
Lucha's like, oh, we're just making this fun out here. We're just making it 7. Don't worry about that. Hold on. Let me fire off that 77 right there. Razor, that'll help, but take care of it anyways. Just ignores it, oddly enough. Just like, no, I don't want that blocking my path. Tetsuo will take theirs, but probably just trying for some see what the weapons get, and you got some shrapnel still to take out, so yeah, it doesn't really lose anything there.
Nope, doesn't really lose anything for either runner. Lucha Jim getting out first, and Tetsuo right behind into Total Carnage. Spreader on the feet for Lucha Jim. That will help quite a bit. And a Razor Shield. Lucha
Razor,
Jim
wow.
should be set for the rest of this room. A Razor Shield for Tetsuo will have to go a little bit around.
Oh, and he had to make so much work right there. The shrapnel was trying to bear down. He had to take care of the swarmers. It was actually a nice, small, like, really clutch play to not lose anything right there for Tetsuo. That was a really tough Razor spawn.
I agree. He made the right decision, didn't rush towards it, made sure he got it without losing the orb, because this is game 7, and we talked about consistency, and these runners have proved it all match long, trying to keep the mistakes down. I mean, it may have cost you a little bit of time, but it did not cost you the race. We'll see. Lucha getting out at a sizzling 253, but Tetsuo right there with a 257. They are still pretty close with each other and going to be going into Tank Trouble, the biggest swing room of the run. Taps.
And, Taco Bell getting even potentially more promotion. It's time for 4th meal, folks. As in 4 wins. As in, who's going to take this set? Let's see. Lucha has had some really great first drop luck. Unfortunate there. Gets the feet. That's not going to help. Let's see. On the other side, Rockets is not a great spot, but he gets it. That's huge for Tetsuo.
Yes, the Tank Trouble RNG swinging in Tetsuo's favor this time around. Lucha is pinned in the corner with the 2 mines. Finally gets it down and gets Rockets of his own. He might be able to bring this back, Taps.
Rockets will really help. Rockets on the other side for Tetsuo, along with the spreaders right there. But yeah, that gets Lucha back into the center. Should be able to maintain from here, doing well. Gets more Rockets. That will really help. Maybe a little time loss, but not much for Lucha Jim. Playing very well here, dealing with what he's been given.
And Lucha with some Rockets. Tetsuo. Lucha
he's
is going to take...
faster. That's crazy.
That is absolutely crazy with how long it was in that corner. It is still a pretty negligible lead. Game number 7, here we go. Mutoid Man head to head.
These folks, they're scrapping out here. Rockets on Tetsuo's side. Spreader on Lucha's side. Let's see what he does. He gets the ball bust. Let's see the manuals. No, just pass them up for lobbers. I want to get that damage. I'm not going to bother with these manuals. Wow. That's exactly what Lucha has been trying to avoid. And then he gets rewarded with a spreader with the invulnerability.
Amazing. Yes, Lucha trying to be consistent, went for the lobbers. And Tetsuo, he had to go manuals anyway, but that's why it's so tough. He died trying to get the manuals in. Lucha with about 4 lead and with the weapon advantage. Tetsuo now with lobbers and lobber replacements.
The refill is going to be nice. Yeah, Lucha getting the invulnerability. What's that left? It looks like, yeah, some rockets, so that'll pop the head. Tetsuo's not going to be too far back here, about 3/4 4 maybe. Oh, but then the spread on the feet.
He's going to have to go manual. A player 2 spreader for Lucha. He's going to get it.
Lucha getting all the way over to the left side. That's going to get bonus.
Oh my goodness, and lobbers for Lucha Jim, lobbers for Tetsuo, but Lucha on the final form, and Lucha's done it!
Oh.
Amazing from both of our runners. Lucha will take game number 7 with a sub-6 of 5:57.
Wow. Lucha just every win had just been phenomenal times, low sixes, sub sixes, and just getting it absolutely done. An incredible threader all the way to one player side. Wow, and takes it, prevents the 3-1 kind of reverse gentleman sweep. Uh, wow, phenomenal. What a great set from these two runners.